Hello everybody, here we are today talking about the news that the San Jose Sharks have reportedly fired their head coach, David Quinn. Now before we start talking about that, please make sure to subscribe if you're new to me or hockey, whatever the case may be. That being said, let's get on into it. So yes, at time of recording, this happened about an hour ago. I'm not really sure why I didn't get notified, but either way, Quinn is being fired, and he is the 9th NHL head coach to be fired for this season. And looking at the 2 years with the team, not exactly a mystery why he's getting fired, as the Sharks weren't able to be a good team, not that they were expected to be. However, over his 2 seasons, they went 41, 98, and 25 in that time, and things just were not good for this team. They had 19 wins this season, which was the 3rd fewest in franchise history, and were just bad all across the board. Looking at goals allowed this season, they allowed 326, which was the most in the NHL. They were the only team in the league to allow 300 goals or more on the season. Looking at some offensive numbers as well too, they had the 2nd fewest goals for per game. They were ahead of just the Chicago Blackhawks at 178. San Jose had 180, and they were just 2 teams that scored 200 goals or less on the year. Everybody else scored more, as it kind of highlights everything that went wrong. The Sharks under Quinn this year had 3 losing streaks of 9 games or more on the season, 2 of at least 11, I believe, and they had the 5th worst PK percentage in the league. One thing that did go right for them, I guess if you want to be an optimist, is their power play ranked 21st in the league over the season. I guess something did go right. And I guess if you want to look at this as a positive, they didn't finish bottom of the Pacific both years that he was the head coach. The first season where they had 22 wins, they were ahead of the Anaheim Ducks, whereas this year they were bottom of the Pacific. Either way though, they finished 7th or worse both years. You look at some other things too that were just crazy to see. They only had 1 player hit 50 points or more on the season, being Mikael Granlund, that had 60 points in 69 games played. Mackenzie Blackwood was their only goalie to hit 10 wins or more on the season. He had 10 exactly, so that is a little bit problematic. But looking at some things to be positive about, they did pretty well against the St. Louis Blues, so there is something to say that's a good thing, and he helped them secure their best odds of winning the draft lottery. So if they're able to get a top pick, especially the 1st overall pick, maybe fans will look at David Quinn and say, hey, we're really glad that you were here in this time. Now, the only reason I thought it was a bit weird that he was fired was I could have sworn that he had another year under his contract, but of course Mike Greer seems to be going a different route, as the GM has seen enough. Whether that comes down to player development or just something else, I'm not exactly sure, but we have seen 2 seasons with Quinn, and he has not been able to get the team to be competitive. But I gotta be honest, this team was nowhere close to being competitive. They traded out guys at the deadline, which could help explain why they were partially bad, but either way, they'd been regressing in recent years. They'd been focusing more on the draft and trying to build this team back up into being a competitive side. They've got a lot of younger players that are hoping to get some experience in the coming years. They've got some high-end draft picks to be excited about, and if they get the 1st overall pick, that player very well likely could play in the Shark Tank this upcoming season and hopefully get this thing turned around. But for David Quinn, after his gig with the New York Rangers, he doesn't get to see the 3rd season with San Jose. Not saying that he was probably thrilled to be, coaching a team that is in the spot it's in. I don't exactly know what's going to happen in the future for him, if he's going to get another head coaching opportunity in the top league in the world. But like I would say, what coach is going to be thriving with the roster that he's got at the moment? I'd like to hope that he could at least get an opportunity somewhere else. But the Sharks moving on with a new head coach, and we will figure out who that will be in the coming months before the start of this upcoming season, as we focus on the other teams in the playoffs as well. But anyway, what are your thoughts on the San Jose Sharks this year? What were your thoughts underneath them with David Quinn? Did you not like the way that he handed out minutes to players? Did you not like the way that he set up the PK? All those thoughts I want to know down below in the comments. Also, please make sure to like this video if you found it informational. Subscribe if you're new. Everybody stay safe. Have a great night. And you go love hockey, alright.
Goodbye, Brigadiers and Brigadettes. This is your captain signing off. Have a great night.